Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing so y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, we got some extremely awesome news in the world of concussion. In the heavyweight division, right? We got the living legend, and he's getting more legendary by the minute, with Oleksandr Usyk. We're living it right now. Anybody that don't think Oleksandr Usyk is a living legend is just simply not paying attention and don't want to, just living in the fantasy world. Because there's not too many boxers out there right now that roll like Oleksandr Usyk, that has done things in the world of boxing like Oleksandr Usyk has in the heavyweight division slash cruiserweight division. We probably get into it in this video, but every time I talk about Oleksandr Usyk, I say something about it. It's ridiculous. Now, somebody that I roll with, former heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, right? Now, Wilder, it's a funny situation when it comes to Wilder. I roll with Wilder, but I think that most people probably should have. But Wilder's from New Russia, so a lot of people didn't, right? Wilder's story could be a movie, and a damn good one. I've been saying that for about 5-6 years now. Bottom line is, so that's Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now, he's about 40 years old now, so he's up there on his way out. But here's the deal. This is going back to the living legend, Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk has vacated that WBO title and just let Fabio Wardley have it. Whatever. Because we know who's undisputed. And one of the reasons is, I guess, because he says he wants to fight your boy, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. He wants him on his resume. He wants Deontay Wilder. Now, following Deontay Wilder for about the last seven years, it ain't been too many people that wanted to fight Deontay Wilder. Some people might say maybe Dillian White did, but I thought that was a smoke screen hiding Deontay Wilder from Anthony Joshua. Protecting him from Anthony Joshua, so Dillian White wanted him. And Dillian White, I don't want to get into that, but that's a whole different thing. I'll just bring the name Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz in that conversation, and then we could talk about that. But anyway, nobody was really going towards Deontay Wilder's smoke, except Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, for example. A lot of people wasn't really, like in a hurry to do that. But anyway, it's a 40-year-old Deontay Wilder. But it's still that dude with that right hand. Now, Oleksandr Usyk doesn't have to do this, right? Everybody thinks Deontay Wilder's washed now. No one is really running around scared of Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua for that matter. Look, Anthony Joshua's fighting a YouTuber, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? So, ain't nobody running around scared of these guys who Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder were, if we were talking about 5 years ago, would have been one of the biggest fights in the heavyweight division in the history. Didn't happen. Now both of them, ain't nobody scared of neither one of them. But because of the legacy, because of the name, let's talk from Oleksandr Usyk's point of view. Look, I've done everything. I'm not fighting unless I'm motivated to fight. I've done everything. Now, while I was in the cruiserweight division, it was some people in the heavyweight division that everybody was talking about was supposed to be so awesome. Anthony Joshua, two-time heavyweight champion, England was rolling out the red carpet for him, talking about he was supposed to be one of the best ever, even mentioning him in the same sentence as Lennox Lewis. So I had to go up there and get him. Tyson Fury, the big old dude that nobody thought was going to get beat. He was supposed to be all that, better than Muhammad Ali and all that stuff, and he's supposed to be one of the best ever, and he's huge. Let me go handle that business. Right? Now, us Deontay Wilder fans, especially a few years ago, was like, man, now Deontay Wilder probably not the most technical, but he got that right hand. He was losing against Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. Boom. Took him out with that right hand. Shoot. Another southpaw, and Arthur Spilka was, outboxing him, and then he went to the hospital, right? So, can Usyk stay away from that right hand for the whole fight? Yeah, Usyk, you probably don't want none of this Wilder smoke, right? Usyk probably heard that. Yeah, Wilder smoke it is. This is Usyk we talking about. So let me make sure anybody that was in that generation there, let me take them all out. All the big names, all of them. We ain't missing nobody. You know, okay, yeah, I came in with Dubois, but he was later, but let me just handle Dubois too, because he had messed around and beat Anthony Joshua, messed up that trilogy. So he was supposed to be something. Oleksandr Usyk wants Deontay Wilder, and I think it's awesome that he does. This is a fight where the best man wins, because I roll with both of these guys, right? When I'm indifferent, I will be going for the underdog in Deontay Wilder, because he's the underdog in this scenario. But Oleksandr Usyk proving something else would be awesome too, because he's proved everything. Let me just say this about Oleksandr Usyk. I go to everybody's backyard, and I beat them all in their backyards. Marco Huck, Berlin. Marius Briedis in Latvia. Marit Gassiev in Russia. Tony Bellew in England. Derek Chisora in England. Anthony Joshua in England. Tyson Fury in England. Daniel Dubois in England. You understand? So, and before that, Michael Hunter in the States. And excuse me, Glowacki, the Polish guy, when he was undefeated, yeah, I went to Poland to do that too. Czech, Poland. You know what I'm saying? So this is what he's done. There's nothing, absolutely nothing to say to Oleksandr Usyk. So let me go ahead and meet Deontay Wilder. He probably won't go to Alabama to do it, because he ain't got to. But, this is how it is. He probably going to a neutral playing ground. So my point, I think, is an awesome fight. Now, let's talk Deontay Wilder for a second. Deontay Wilder has been much maligned his whole career. When it comes to Deontay Wilder, the reason I roll with him is because his story is just awesome, to start fighting because of his daughter and, have just heart and a right hand and stamina. I don't care about what, how it was supposed to be done. I just knock people out an average of 20 pounds or more heavier than me. That's a great story. And, if you don't like the story, something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? I can understand somebody from England not liking that story, because it's, it was an Anthony Joshua thing. You pick sides. But other than that, man, whatever. He was an underdog the whole time. He shouldn't have been just coming out of nowhere. And the people that were on his team, like Terrence Crawford said, this dude came out of nowhere, and the amateurs started knocking people out. We didn't know what the hell was going on. That's a good story, man. So, he gets up, and he starts hurting that right hand because he's using it, on people. And he's hitting bigger dudes. So he's breaking the right hand, he's tearing his bicep, hurting his shoulder. So the right hand is going to be an issue with Deontay Wilder. He's been lackluster the years because of the surgeries, because of whatever it's been. He's had those fights with Tyson Fury, got cheated, got hit on his head, had a dent in his head. I don't know if he's been right since then, right? So he's, now he lost to Joseph Parker, lost to Sheila Shang, right? There's nobody that's scared. So when it comes to Deontay Wilder, it's an uphill battle, but he's the underdog here. So he has nothing to lose here, but he has it all to gain. He can show people that, hey, wait a minute, I got 1 or 2 more fights up in me, and if I can get myself together and get up in here, I still got this right hand. If I can place this baby real good, I can maybe do something to Usyk that no one else has, and that would be an awesome thing. So yes, this is probably some of the biggest news you would want to have lately. We've got the Shakur Stevenson versus the Teofimo Lopez fight. We'll get on that. I was just talking about that one earlier. I don't think Teo's showing up. I don't think Teofimo Lopez is showing up, but maybe it might happen. I don't know what, but we got the money gonna have to be right, because I don't see that. But as of right now, that's signed. But the biggest news has to be Oleksandr Usyk versus Deontay Wilder. And the bigger news is Oleksandr Usyk wants Deontay Wilder. Make sure that's clear for everybody. If we start talking weeks later and we're talking even to Deontay Wilder fans like me, don't forget, Oleksandr Usyk, this is not a mandatory challenge. It's a voluntary. This is like when our boy Deontay Wilder fought Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz when no one wanted to as a voluntary, and we recognize how valiant and awesome that was for somebody to take Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz as a voluntary. Well, damn it, that's what Oleksandr Usyk is doing right now. Taking Deontay Wilder, our boy, as a voluntary. Damn it, let's get ready to rumble. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm out of here, y'all.